After Yacht Club Games burst into the indie scene over a decade ago with the sublime Shovel Knight, I eagerly awaited whatever they would do next. Now it's 2026 and Mina the Hollower, their Zelda, Dark Souls and Game Boy coloured inspired adventure arrives on May 29th. And this is my thoughts after 7 hours of playing. A special thanks to Yacht Club Games for the review copy. When I first booted it up, I was introduced with exactly what I was hoping for. That beautiful chiptune style music from Jake Kaufman and guest composer Yuzo Koshihiro. Just like with Shovel Knight, it's instantly catchy and memorable. It's such a uniquely retro style that I am so glad to see return, and it gives me the urge to replay the seminal 2014 platformer. In fact, many things about Mina the Hollower's presentation gives me the nostalgia for Shovel Knight, alongside the classic Game Boy Zeldas, primarily the Oracle of Ages and Seasons games. Don't be fooled by that retro aesthetic though. Mina the Hollower may give off the look and feel of the classics, but thankfully comes with all the modern perks of 2026. A buttery smooth frame rate of up to 120 FPS, including on the Switch 2, and in a great step for accessibility, dozens of different modifiers to either decrease or increase the difficulty of combat, movement, and platforming. From making it as easy as having infinite health, to making it as tough as taking 3 times the damage, or even losing a level of your stats every time you die. The developers here have given you the options to play exactly how you want. This is great for replayability, allowing that extra challenge, but also to allow less experienced or less able-bodied players to modify the experience to fit them. It's not often you see these settings, especially to this level, so it's great to see a company as renowned as Yacht Club include these options, and it hopefully sets an example that other developers could follow. For me, I played with the standard setup, and for the first couple of hours, I definitely got my metaphorical ass handed to me. But soon enough, things became a lot more comfortable as I got into the swing of movement and combat. Mina moves around exactly how you would expect a classic top-down Zelda to play. But thanks to her hollowing ability, you can dive into almost any surface and burrow through the ground for a few seconds with invincibility to enemies. This allows you to flank and dodge them, move faster, and thanks to maintaining that momentum, you can even jump further than normal, allowing for fun platforming sections. This gives gameplay a fast-paced and smooth feeling, making it familiar to classic Zeldas while also giving it a very clear gameplay identity of its own. Despite the overall difficulty, anytime I died and had to return back to the last underground lab I visited, Mina's version of Dark Souls-esque campfires, I always knew it was my fault I ended up there. The smoothness of the combat and movement always made me feel I was 100% in control, and I always returned to my place of demise more knowledgeable than before. Throughout combat and exploration, you will also come across Mina's dual-role version of experience points and currency. In this world, it's the Bones of the Dead. These can be found by defeating enemies or in the seemingly hundreds of hidden secrets across the map, from cracked walls and pillars to secret caves and even just buried in the ground. You find them everywhere. Mina also carries sparks. Every time you die, you lose one and you must return to that spot to recover them. If you die when you're not carrying a spark, you will lose all of the bones you were holding. I never found this horrifically punishing though, and thanks to Mina's swift movement, you can generally get back to where you were fairly quickly. And since bones are so plentiful, you can easily recover more if you lose your previous stash. And thanks to Bone Stone, a version you don't lose when you die and can bank for later use, you normally have some in reserve anyway. Those bones can be used to buy items, weapon upgrades, upgrade your attack and defense power, and your sidearm attack, which so far from around 7 hours of playtime has consisted of throwing axes, which move in a Castlevania-style arc, throwing knives that work like a boomerang from Zelda, and a bike that explodes on impact. That's definitely my favourite one. There are others, but I won't spoil them here. These are found around the map and can be swapped out each time you find them. These, alongside your main weapon, make for a versatile and ultimately fun combat system. That main weapon, at least from the outset, consists of one of 3 choices. There's the Nightstar, a whip-like mace that gives you long-range attacks, the Blast Strike Maul, a slow but powerful hammer that can be charged up for additional damage, and my weapon of choice, Whisper and Vesper, fast-striking dual daggers. There appears to be a total of 5 weapons that unlock later on, and can be switched between by visiting the blacksmith and paying a hefty fee. Initially I was worried the combat could be quite annoying, as Mina only strikes forward in one direction, rather than an arc to her attack. But my worries were quickly gone once I took on my first handful of enemies and found the hit detection and speed to be absolutely flawless. In order to heal, you get a set number of vials per life, starting with 3 and increasing as you find more. What's interesting about Mina's health mechanic though, is if you use these vials without paying attention to the yellow section of your health bar, known as plasma, you will pretty much waste them. Vials will only heal the plasma bar, not your total health. And that plasma is generated by attacking enemies and collecting it from different breakable objects, such as pots, candles, and grass. During boss fights, this can add a lot of tension as you fight to increase it as high as possible without taking a hit, giving a strong risk-reward system to heal. This perfectly executed gameplay is all held within a wonderfully designed and varied world, in a gothic but colourful art style that truly feels alive. If you have played any classic Zeldas, you know exactly what to expect here. You travel across the map from location to location to find secrets and dungeons, and within them, defeat bosses in order to reactivate large towers that you have to climb, called spark generators. These towers, created by Mina herself, protect the land from monsters, and only she can restore them. In order to reach them, you have to fight, puzzle, and platform your way through multiple areas across the fully open world. Unlike Zelda though, you don't have multiple items to complete these puzzles and traverse the world. Everything you need to progress is part of the environment, making each area feel uniquely its own. There is, shall we say, a sensible order to do things in, and there is a hint system via newspapers to advise you where to go. But if you want to dive into the tougher stuff first, go for it. One minor gripe I do have though is there is no in-game map. The world is fantastic to explore, but you can find yourself going in circles pretty easily, and I feel this could be a little off-putting for some players. I feel giving the option of a map in the modifiers could be an easy fix to this issue, without compromising the overall vision. In terms of boss difficulty, I thankfully have found them challenging, but not overwhelmingly or annoyingly so. So far, the balance has been perfect for me. The first major boss fight I had was against a living statue that, after defeating its first phase, morphed into a more dangerous and tentacle-filled version of it. I died on my first attempt, but on returning for the second, I defeated it, but still felt satisfied from a good challenge. Overall, at least so far, Mina the Hollower is absolutely fantastic to play, and a great follow-up from Yacht Club Games' indie darling Shovel Knight from 12 years ago. It gives all the nostalgic feels of classic Zelda with a catchy and memorable soundtrack and a beautiful art style, while also being completely its own thing. Its smooth gameplay, varied and packed world of secrets, and multitude of modifiers make me confident that it will keep me coming back for more well beyond the credits. And that's it for the preview. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Phil, and I'm the creator of The Pixel Tavern. I just want to say an absolutely massive thank you to Yacht Club Games for sending me an early copy. I know I'm a very small channel, so I really appreciate them giving me a chance to play early. Stick around for my review later in the month, just before launch on May 29th. Please subscribe for more of my videos and click the bell icon to be notified of when the full review comes out. If you have any questions about my time playing it, please leave a comment below and I'll be happy to answer whatever I can. In the meantime, there are more videos on screen now, but otherwise I hope you all keep well and thank you very much for watching.